I have to tell you that, like many of you, I too am very frustrated with the senators of the 35th Guam legislature, who, while wearing face masks, sitting 6 feet apart, voted no on eliminating the primary election for the purposes of protecting the people from the COVID spread. It's kind of ironic, because the only thing not canceling the primary election does is it protects incumbent senators from challenges from new candidates. That's all voting no on the primary election bill elimination did. It also did 2 other things. When they voted no, they voted not to protect the people from the risk of the spread of the COVID-19, even though we see new cases every day, and it didn't do anything to reduce the cost of government operations. But COVID-19 is dangerous enough to shut down the entire economy, government, schools, and businesses, but it's not dangerous enough to protect incumbents from new candidates. And that's where the truth lies behind the votes that the senators cast. Because when you really look at Bill 375, if they voted yes, they would be voting to protect the people. They would be voting to save a little bit of money at a time when money is running short at government in Guam. And when they voted no, they voted that even though COVID-19 is dangerous enough to shut down the government, shut down the economy, it's not dangerous enough to force 30,000 to 40,000 people to go to the polling stations. Now, I put links to the testimony. You really need to listen to the senators in their own words, try to justify how they're going to vote. Because some senators claim that voting is safe. Yeah, well, voting is so safe. If wearing masks is so safe, then why did they shut down the economy? Why did they shut down schools? Why did they force nearly 40,000 people onto unemployment? Not because there's no risk. Like I said, the only risk is to the incumbent senators. And what's really funny is that they also voted unanimously to pass Bill 330, which says voters who are afraid of the virus can vote at GEC using the absentee ballot process. Now, the problem with this is I talked with the Guam Election Commission, and they only have the capacity to handle 4,750 in-office votes, which means less than 10% of the registered voters are going to have the opportunity to call Guam Election Commission and make an appointment and to vote in safety. Otherwise, they will be forced to go and vote at one of the many polling stations around the island and risk getting the COVID-19. Let's see which senators are more concerned about their personal incomes than they are about your life.
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Senator Castro. Senator Castro, nay. Senator Lee. Senator Lee, nay. Senator Marsh-Titano.
Aye.
Senator Marsh-Titano, nay. Senator Moylan.
Aye.
Senator Moylan, aye. Senator Munya. Senator Munya, nay. Speaker Munya Barnes.
Aye.
Speaker Munya Barnes, nay. Vice Speaker Nelson. Vice Speaker Nelson, excused. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, nay. Senator Ragel. Senator Ragel, nay. Senator San Augustine.
Mungal.
Senator San Augustine, nay. Senator Shelton.
Aye.
Senator Shelton, nay. Senator Taitagui.
Aye.
Senator Taitagui, aye. Senator Pito Terlahi. Senator Pito Terlahi, nay. Senator Therese Terlahi.
Ungen.
Senator Therese Terlahi, aye. Senator Torres.
Hungen.
Senator Torres, aye.
Colleagues, Bill number 375-35 COR received 4 ayes, 10 nays, and 1 excused absence. Bill number 375-35 COR failed by this body.
As we can see, there are 4 senators who, for whom people's lives matter more. That was Therese Terlahi, James Moylan, Tella Taitigui, and Mary Torres. I like to think that based on the many conversations I've had with Vice Speaker Senator Talina Cruz Nelson, that she too would have voted for Bill 375. Because in many of the conversations I've had with her, one thing that has always come through, whether we agreed on a bill or not, was her concern for the people of Guam. So I'd like to think that in this instance, she would have voted yes on passing 375. And had I been a senator in the legislature, not only would I have voted yes to pass 375, I probably would have been a co-sponsor of the bill as well. Now let's take a look at which senators hashtag politicians' incomes matter more. Amanda Shelton, Clinton Rigel, Joe San Augustine, Regine Bisco Lee, Kelly Marsh Titano, Luis Muñoz, Jose Terlahi, Sabina Perez, Tina Muñoz Barnes, and Will Castro. So now we are in a dilemma as voters, as citizens, because traditionally the primary is a low turnout election, and I think with the COVID it's going to be even lower turnout than normal. But there's a catch. In order to advance to the general election, I am being forced to ask my supporters to go and vote in the primary, even though it's against everything I stand for. But if I don't get enough votes in the primary election, even though there's only 15 Democrats and 15 Republicans, there's a very real chance that I and other Republican candidates may not make it onto the ballot. Because you see, we have to get 4% of the total vote. That's the way the law is written, and it's written very badly. So if there's a low voter turnout, and because of the games the Democrats are playing, because they hate Mike Nicholas so much that they are willing to screw up the election in an effort to knock him out in the primary or damage him badly enough in the primary that Will Castro has a chance to beat him in the general, they're playing games with our lives. And I don't appreciate that. So if you vote in the Democrat primary, only vote for 2 incumbents in the senatorial race. I'm not going to talk about the mayors or Congress. I'm just going to talk about the senatorial race. Based on what we saw in the vote on 375 and other votes, but we'll get into that later, only vote for 2 Democrat incumbents, Therese Terlahi and Talina Cruz Nelson. After those 2, vote for only new candidates to fill out your Democrat primary ballot. If you vote on the Republican side of the ballot, only vote for 3 Republican incumbents, Mary Camacho Torres, James Moylan, and Tella Taitigui. Don't vote for any of the recycled senators who have already proven they are more concerned about their pay than yours when they passed the super secret massive retroactive pay raise in 2014. And I'm talking about Senator Toniata, Senator Quistrenas, and former Senator also Joanne Brown, who defended the pay raises in public testimony when the people were trying to roll them back. So they've already proven that they're more concerned about their incomes than they are about your financial security. So don't give them any votes in the primary election. This is how we, as citizens, send a message to politicians that they won't soon forget, by voting for only 3 Republican incumbents and all new faces, and on the Democrat side only voting for 2 incumbents and all new faces. Politicians will learn that they put themselves and the safety of politically well-connected insiders over the people at their own risk. And that's a lesson they need to learn, because we're facing trying times ahead. And we need public servants in the 36th Guam legislature, not political operatives who are more concerned about themselves and their income, the financial safety and security of politically well-connected insiders over the financial security and safety of the people. And the only way that happens is we send a loud message in the primary and reinforce it in the general election. I'm Ken Leon-Guerrero, a 12-year community advocate, now a candidate for the Republican Party in the primary election. I humbly ask for your vote. I'm number 4 on the Republican candidate. And I've got to tell you, this is not the life I saw myself heading to. But until we reform the election process, we're going to have a difficult time getting quality candidates to run. So that's one of the reasons why I'm running this time, to begin to reform the election process, to make it more open so that Guam's best and brightest will be able to run and serve the people. Ken Leon-Guerrero. Here's my website, kenleonguerrero.org, and my campaign cell number, 727-3506. And here's my email address, email, kenleonguerrero, all one word, at yahoo.com. Register, vote, call the Guam Election Commission here at this number. Make your reservations to vote in office safely today. And then together we will make the People's House once again more responsive to the needs of the people instead of the needs of politically well-connected insiders.